Hey guys, you're watching Halborn Flash Videos. I'm Arabdha, and today joining us in is Carlos from Aragon. So, Carlos, tell us a little bit about yourself first.
I'm Carlos. I'm based in Portugal. Basically, I'm kind of like the CTO of Aragon, but you never know with DAOs. Like things are so generic. I don't own any other guild, so it's not like I rule over everything at all. That's not how that works. But normally, I'm the person to go to if you want to talk tech in Aragon.
Got it. So, we have the right person to talk about a lot of tech pieces of strategy with us today. So, tell us about Aragon and how did you guys go about building it?
So Aragon is a very old project, at least in terms of crypto. Like nothing is very old in crypto, but it was founded in 2016, 2017, around those lines. And it's been building DAO since the very beginning. Like we've been always having this mindset, and we've been always been very respected in the community because we try to do things right. Um, and we are very mindful about the things that we do, and I think that plays well with DAOs. That you sometimes you feel that you need to move them a little bit slower because like it's so diverse and it's so crazy sometimes that you have to slow down a little bit and then speed whenever you have the flow to do so. And that's part of the one of the mottos that we have is governance at the speed of software. That's kind of like the thing that we try to do is like give you all the tools that you need to govern your DAO, however you feel that you have to. Like if you have to slow down a little bit, we got you covered. If you have to get like many things going and you have to have a super flashy platform, we've got you covered as well. If you have to change the governance models, like anything that you have in mind around your DAO, we are there for you.
Got it. So you started in 2016, 2017, which, as you say, is quite a long time to build it with time in crypto specifically. So why the decision behind, like taking it slow and doing it block by block? And how has that impacted your community around it?
Anything that you do on crypto, if you want to do it securely, you have to do it slowly. That's how it is. And Aragon right now, as we're talking, has over $15 billion in assets covered.
Wow.
Let me repeat that, $15 billion. You don't want to rush anything that touches that amount of money. Surely, if you are bootstrapping a new project, you have to be like more scrappy and you have to do things a little bit faster. But when you have such big clients as Lido, Curve, Decentralized, Aragon, you need to think about the things that you do and you do them well, and you do them audited and you do them like with months of research.
So you talked about self-paced DAOs, fully customizable models around DAOs. So walk us a little bit through the Aragon DAO Builder. How can somebody leverage it to create their own DAO?
Right. So this is the new products that we released just a few months ago. We have like three main parts, right? Well, four, but let's start with the three first. The first thing is the Aragon OSX, which is the new protocol, the new set of smart contracts that allow you to create DAOs and plugins for those DAOs. So if you are a Solidity developer, for example, you go there, you can create your own plugin for your DAO, your own governance model, anything that you like, and it will play nicely with this whole system, right? It's very modular and it's based on people being able to leverage each other's plugins and even build on them if you want to. So that's the first part or the first layer of the infrastructure. Then you go a little bit upwards and you go into the Aragon SDK, which is all still for developers, but it's another level. It's like more for people that want to build a platform on top of Aragon OSX, a platform on top of the smart contracts. This SDK helps you with building a front end, for example, or to build an indexer or to build a scrapper that you can feed into AI and resume like all the proposals, whatever you have, whatever you want to do there. So it's kind of like it gives you the indexing and the information for all these smart contracts. And then finally, we have the Aragon app, which is super user-centric UI where you can create your own DAO with, normally it's less than 5 minutes, but it really depends on how you want to take the users or your time. Like normally it's around those 5 minutes, and that's when you think a lot about it. We guide you through the whole process of creating the DAO, and then we guide you through the process of creating proposals that are really for users. That's one of the different keys that we have from others. It's like we really want this to be user-centric, and we really want people to understand what they are voting on and how is the DAO that they are participating on. So if the DAO, for example, has misconfigurations or things that are complicated, we will warn all the users so they know that they have to tackle those issues. I'm talking things about quorums, minimum participations, all that stuff. That is very complicated for users. We have that, like we have warnings in several places so they don't do wrong things, which happens all the time. Like DAOs get bricked all the time, like almost every single day. So we are trying to put a lot of effort into making those DAOs our DAOs at least, super robust.
Got it. So it's not only technical advisory, but you also have advisory around governance and logic built into the platform itself. Wow, that's
Right.
really great to know. So what are some of your favorite DAOs building on top of the DAO Maker, and how many DAOs are already built out using this?
So with this new protocol, it's a little bit different because like you need a little bit of Lindy effect in terms of security to bring over big DAOs. And we've been live for two months and a half. So it's not like I'm going to give you like super shiny names for this new protocol. Personally, we are using it in Aragon. We are migrating funds all the time, and all the Aragon DAOs. So like, sorry, all the Aragon guilds. So like all the guilds helping the development, all of them have their funds into this new protocol, and we take the decisions in those DAOs. But for example, in the older protocol, we have clients like Lido, for example, which has the whole protocol governed by Aragon DAO, or like not governed by us. Well, sorry, it's governed by the Aragon client or the Aragon infrastructure. Obviously, that doesn't mean that we take the decisions. Right? It's just like they have full control over their DAO and they can do whatever. It's just our contracts and our UI that helps them change the parameters of the protocol, which is something super nice. Some of the ones that I personally really like, Avergozzi is something that, I mean, I know many people don't like NFTs and that much. I don't know, Avergozzi is just super fun. I love the study from DeFi. I love they always have that DeFi mindset, but bring that to the masses. Like, not many people want to talk about Aave, maybe. Like, if you're a DJ like me, you will. But if you are a kid or you're a teenager or you are someone that is not that much into pure financial things, Aavegotchi can be an entry point for you. And that's something super interesting in my opinion. So I like them a lot. And then, for example, in the new protocol, there is a DAO that is trying to help San Francisco housing crisis. They are getting all together every single week and taking decisions and then putting them up for vote and trying to solve a big problem that is in that city. And those small communities for me are super important. And I'm super happy they're building it on top of the new protocol.
Those are all super cool ideas, actually. All right, so you lead the tech strategy of Aragon. I have to ask you, what's the internal security strategy that you have in place? And also, how do you go about partnerships with external auditors such as Halborn?
Well, as I said in the beginning, we don't want to release anything that puts people's money in danger. Not just the money, actually. DAOs are used for many things. You don't want them to be overtaken. And security comes from many places, and that's something that you Halborn do very well. Like, the audit is not just the smart contracts, which also obviously have to be audited. It's about many other places, right? So many initiatives that we have is like, when we do the development, we do it in mindset. We have always 2 peer reviews in every single line of the code that we do, especially for the smart contracts. We have moved that to 1 in the front end, but in the smart contract is 2 peer reviews. everything is public, so everyone can take a look at it. And every time that we have to push change, everything has to be audited first. So we contact Halborn or we contact any other partner. For example, we also did an audit with Code4Arena, for example. But the thing is, like, it needs to be robust. It needs to be tested before. We have to test it also in testnets, and then we go to mainnet. And that's one of the parts, like the pure auditing. Then we have, for example, the front end, which it's also just recently audited with you, Halborn. But it's also about the mindset that you give to users. DAOs are very complex systems. Like, surely the code can be audited, but it's still very dangerous. Like, because DAOs can do anything, and they can get bricked, and they can get in a moment where governance cannot reach a certain threshold or whatever. So that's something that we also want to tackle a lot in the front end. And we put a lot of effort into putting warning signs everywhere so you don't mess up. For example, that's something very simple that many DAOs have problems with. If you try, for example, to mint new tokens to the DAO, that seems like very normal. The problem is if you do that, then the quorum to be reached for governance proposals won't be met because you've minted a lot of tokens to the DAO, and the DAO is not going to be able to vote. Therefore, it won't reach the quorum and it gets bricked. We put a lot of warnings everywhere and tooltips telling you, hey, if you do this, the minimum quorum should be moved to this much. Like, we help you on setting up your DAO to success, giving you warnings every time that you try to do something that is not right.
Right. That's a lot of insight on governance as well. Thank you so much for sharing that. So what's one piece of advice you'd give to somebody who is looking at creating out their own DAO right now?
Just try it. Like, we have it in several chains. Go to mainnet, go to Polygon, go to testnets. Like, that's all fair. Try it out, share it with your friends, try to make like a group chat with them and discuss about some ideas that you have. Put, I don't know, $10 in Polygon or $100 in Polygon and start trying new projects like designing stuff or making blog posts or like start a new guild with them. That always leads to nice results. And that's something that I did in the past with some friends, and I think it went really well. Like, financially, it got some traction, good. But we also had a lot of fun. We learned a lot. We made nice contacts in the whole industry, and we learned a lot of auditing as well because we did some projects regarding audit. So that's something that I recommend everyone. Start a small guild, a small group of people, a DAO that can be self-managed, and grow it if you want to, or don't grow it. Just have fun with your friends.
Yeah, that should always be the motive, I feel. If you want to build something, just go ahead and try something small. Great. This has been a great chat thus far, Carlos. So do you feel ready for the Halborn Rapidfire coming up next?
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right, so we will do this quick, and the very first responses are very well accepted because the idea is to make it rapid. So the first one goes here. If you could describe Aragon in 3 words, what would those be?
Governance, speed, software. That's what I would say.
Got it. Governance, speed, and software it is. What's your most listened to Web3 podcast or book?
Well, my favorite book on crypto in general is The Starfish and the Spider.
Gonna make a note of that. I'm gonna check it out. All right, so what is the one thing that you learned in your career now that you wish you had learned a lot of years before?
People is the most important thing always. Like, be sure to be close to the people that you believe are that will make the most of you.
Yeah, I could not highlight that enough either. What are your top 3 projects? And of course, you cannot name Aragon in the ecosystem in general.
All right. I really like Rainbow, the wallet.
Yeah.
I use Uniswap a lot, so Uniswap has to be there. And then I guess if you look at my wallet, it has to be Zora.
All right.
Because it's about the ownership. Like it's about being very personal, and I believe all those three a little bit gives you a lot of individuality in what you believe. And just by looking at my wallet, you will be able to see what are my beliefs and what are the things I have fun with. So those are the three.
I'm going to check out the last one. That sounded quite interesting. All right, we're here for the last question of the rapid fire, which is, what was your most challenging moment during Aragon?
It's been a roller coaster of a year. There has been so many things happening. I would say releasing the new set of products all at the same time was very challenging for the whole team, because it's very hard to release a new whole product when you have like a new whole tech stack with new smart contracts, everything, and bootstrap it from the ground up. When you have in the background like the old Aragon smart contracts with more than $12 billion, right? Like whatever you do has to be way better, and that's very challenging, and it's very stressful in the sense like, will people like it? Is this better for real? Like I know it's better, but like, will people understand the value proposition? That's complicated, I would say.
Yeah, too many decisions, too many things to release at once. Got it, absolutely understood. Yeah. So Carlos, this has been a super fun chat for me, and hopefully our viewers are also enjoying this thus far. Stay tuned, we're coming up with a lot more Flash videos. Thank you again so much for joining in today.